Much a younger group. Arsenal very much closer to a first-team lineup. All the injuries in the World Cup changes to be expected.
Absolutely, Mike. It should be fun. Good crowd, as you've mentioned. Yes, Arsenal a little bit stronger because their season is just around the corner, isn't it? So the pre-season implementation of ideas, and obviously some of these players are going to get a little bit more playing time because you've got to get them closer to the season, as I mentioned, August 10th. So that's just around the corner for Arsenal. Manchester City and Chelsea, the first two games, so they certainly need to be ready.
Arsenal in their alternate kits, the new away jerseys for PSG, as they line up in front of what's a near-capacity crowd. Singapore's National Stadium opened in 2014. Their record attendance, 2015 match, 52,000 in attendance for the Gunners and Everton. Many familiar Arsenal faces there. And with a new coach in Unai, Arsenal front that has the majority of their key pieces available. Iwobi and Ozil return. Iwobi from Nigeria's World Cup run. Ozil from Germany. Socrates starts at central defense. Aubameyang is the forward in this group.
And that's different, of course, from the game against Atleti, as Aubameyang played on the left-hand side, and it was Alexandre Lacazette at forward, but formidable, as I've mentioned, Iwobi on the left, Ozil just behind Aubameyang, and Mkhitaryan on the right. Guendouzi, the answer, next to Elneny in the center of midfield.
For PSG, Thomas Tuchel, 6 teenagers in this lineup. They fell 3-1 to Bayern Munich last Saturday. And they make just one change from that lineup with Buffon, the goalkeeper, and Timothy Weah listed front left. He can find himself as more of a center forward as well.
Yeah, I guess it remains to be seen if indeed that's what's going to happen. And Kunku usually on that right-hand side. Timothy Weah was the central striker in that game against Bayern, but of course some players will always play out of position. That's what preseason is all about, and especially for Tuchel, he needs to see the players in different positions. Mike, I got a feeling that he has some ideas who are maybe the 1 or 2 youngsters that will make the squad, because most likely we won't see any more than that.
Arsenal, their alternate kit, and it's a countdown in Singapore. Gorgeous National Stadium, the perfect venue. One of those games that just has... So Arsenal to work here. And turned over. Sorry, providing pressure. Forcing his way through, and Kunku. And it's held by Leno. Just a little touch could have been enough to steer that through.
Kunku has the pace. A little bit lazy there from Mkhitaryan, right? I mean, he's got to follow that through. He's got to stay with the player, almost lets him go.
Way too much room here for Arsenal. Opening up play. Aubameyang plays it out in front. It's in. Arsenal scores. Mesut Ozil. It's challenging as summer as he could have, and he comes right into Arsenal and scores.
I'll tell you what, that's important on so many levels, because Arsenal haven't been at their best in the first 12 minutes. As I said, Aubameyang, when he's got the space, he knows what to do with it. But for this man, Mesut Ozil, that comes in handy, right? Has been in trouble with defense in Germany. He's retired from the team. I'll tell you what, it's a good thing for Unai Emery to make him captain, because I think it's a big message. And look at that. Puts it away on the platter from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang there. He puts that one away against the run of play. But again, lethal from Arsenal on the break.
Arsenal fans are hoping that they'll see some combination of those two in a similar celebratory manner over the course of this Premier League season. This curling effort spins off frame. Rafiki has had a very impressive start, the 19-year-old.
Yeah, he's been looking at that, right? I mean, that far post with his left foot when he comes inside, and he has been good. And looking much better on the right-hand side. In the first match in Bayern, he was playing on the left-hand side. But that often happens, right? A lefty coming from the right-hand side, and a couple chances there. You're always a threat for that.
The International Champions Cup is presented by Heineken. Open your world. Enjoy responsibly. 59th minute from the National Stadium in Singapore. And Weah, the U.S. international.
Penalty.
It's a goal kick. Nothing there. At least at first glance.
It's the penalty.
Yeah.
I think the assistant referee had to intervene there. Although I'm not sure what the referee was showing. I thought he was showing goal kick, but for me, that was a penalty to Weah against Kolasinac right there. As he takes that touch inside, you can see that left foot sliding. Just catches Timothy Weah, or at least it looks that way to me. Yeah, just enough. Right decision.
Well, maybe Thomas Tuchel was the one who...
Well, they always do that, right? I mean,
well, it is a penalty indeed. Christopher Nkunku. It'll be a big moment for Martinez. Came on at halftime in the six. Nkunku scores. Well, PSG's leveled it right before the hour mark.
Yeah, well taken. There's absolutely no doubt. Plenty of power. Of course, Martinez going the other way, taking full advantage of a good job done on that right-hand side by Timothy Weah. Absolutely outstanding. That's what you want players to do. When in isolation, take players one-on-one, right? Didn't have a lot of room to deal with. Perhaps where he was going, he was always going to square it and look at Nkunku stepping into this. Well taken.
Emiliano Martinez the wrong way. And Arsenal will almost assuredly finish with them.
PSG squad much smaller because of the absence of the key players. So many of them, of course, played in the World Cup, still on vacation.
Service out in front. Off the crossbar and in. Lacazette. Well, the Frenchman sticking it to Paris Saint-Germain at 2-1.
He's claiming it? Let me see it again, see if that perhaps may have been an own goal, or maybe he gets there first, but again, that ball playing wide, good delivery, with good pace on it. All it needed was a touch. Doesn't really matter where it came from, that touch as well, but he's smiling, so he likes it. That tells me that he was the one. Although, when I was watching it, I wasn't 100% sure. And see, Smith Rowe comes in, and a manager, right? He pulled the young kid out. But played well.
Chip to Ramsey, who heads it up. Punched away. Buffon, the follow is in. Arsenal's made it 3.
Like I said again, exactly the people that you want to be on the end of things, all right? I didn't think that ball from Ramsey was particularly very good, right? Because I thought that he needed to head that across with a little bit of power so somebody can get on the end of it. Just looked it up there. And certainly PSG did not deal well with that one as the ball goes over the top. Watch Ramsey here. Not that he can generate a lot of power. You got to put it in the dangerous area. Gigi Buffon's been spotless so far. Certainly that's not the one that he's going to remember, because he's got to do much, much better with that. A big man coming.
The national team has pulled some significant players out. Crystal's not among them. There's some big-time players there. Opportunity now opening up. Lacazette, the extra pass. Kick save. Chibois. Right, Nelson.
Yeah, he's got to put that away, right? I mean, great attack once again started here on that left-hand side. Lacazette so important because of his awareness and the fact that he knew that Rice Nelson was coming there. Look at as he pivots. Maybe in his head he thought that he's going to have a go himself, but finds Nelson on the right-hand side. Yes, it's a good save. Straight at him. I don't want to take that away from the goalkeeper, but Nelson's got to see that ball in the back of the net.
The ball header is in from 18 yards out. Holding.
Yeah, I think he's still processing that, isn't it? Because it's a bit of a looping header, isn't it? Didn't need a lot of power, and I suppose if he was with more power, maybe that gives the goalkeeper a chance to have a save at it. But as that ball was released, I'm just wondering, is it just going to drop there in that top corner? So again, Rob Holding will take that. Look at that. Driven ball. Oh, that's absolutely wonderful from that distance. You don't see that very often. Look at that. No chance for the goalkeeper. That's just wonderful. Look, 13 yards out. With the players that he's going to have at his disposal a little bit later, but Nkunku once again pretty decent. Timmy Weah, very good in terms of what he needed to do.
Oh, it's through now for Arsenal. Is it a fifth? Of course it is. Nketiah. Right before full time.
Yeah, must have just kept that onside. That was very, very tight. I was wondering if I was going to see the flag go up on the first look, but again, composure at the very end. Another goal. Result doesn't matter. Let's see in terms of timing. It was just right. Well done by the referee. When in doubt, obviously, keep your flag down. And you can see that finish pretty precise. You can see they're enjoying this very much, and that's important as well, right? And their manager, I mean, if you see a video of that, he can enjoy it in Miami, right? That's what you want to have in camp. You're away from home, getting ready for the season. A lot of bonding going on, not just for the players, but of course with the new manager, setting the tone as well. And for Arsenal, they'll take a result like that anytime.
And Nketiah, the exclamation point as